AITA for not wanting my Polycule parents at my wedding. My parents are in a Polycule relationship with a man. I've always been mildly uncomfortable with it just due to a variety of features about the whole thing. For starters, the man is as young as I am, and he basically now lives in my former room growing up. I don't say anything about it as it's their life, and they can live it as they like. But, and I'll be completely honest here, all of it sort of discomforts me. Nevertheless, I have my own life, and I still love them, and I try not to think of that in any capacity. They are happy, and that's good for them. With that background out of the way, I am getting married soon, and I wanted my parents to be there. OFSC. They were happy for me, and it was great. Then my SO and I got to arranging everything for the wedding, and we eventually began arranging the seating. I wanted to run my seating plan by my parents as they know some people better, so I emailed it to them and asked them to look it over. They looked it over, and then they called me that I had missed a seat for Dave, fake name for their significant other. I told them I didn't think Dave would be coming. They said they would be all coming, and I said, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. I tried to tiptoe to gently tell them to not bring Dave, but they were insistent, so I was frank with them. I told them I was uncomfortable with Dave coming, and I wanted to share my special day with them, not Dave. I tried to explain why I didn't think it was appropriate. At this point, things took a turn for the worse. We had a back and forth which basically devolved into a fight. Eventually, they basically said they'd much rather just not come if they couldn't come as a couple. I, in a moment of anger, then said, "Great, then don't come," in a passive-aggressive tone. I haven't talked to my parents since then. In a way, I feel like they've changed so much from when I was young. I still love them, and I still wanted them to come. But all of this is just not how I imagined my wedding going. It's their life to live, but this is my wedding. It's supposed to be about me and my SO, surrounded by people we cherish. Dave and I have no relationship. He is a stranger to me and, respectfully, I genuinely am completely fine with that. I want them to come, but if they want to bring Dave, I much rather they just don't. I love them, but I don't want Dave there. So, AITA? Story 2. AITA for telling my brother it's pathetic that he can't do the basics of what his wife did. I love my SIL and brother. They have 2 kids, and my SIL Rachel was a sayachem. She worked from home part-time, but also took care of the kids and all the chores. I was over multiple times, and the house was spotless. Really, I thought she was just extra cleaning when she had guests, but no. When I had my kid, she showed me her schedule. She would be up at 5 for meal prepping for the whole day, like she never stopped, and a lot of her tips helped me with my own home. Now my brother lost his job, and it was decided that Rachel would go back to work full-time and he would stay at home. The kids are in kindergarten and 1st grade. He has this on easy mode. I've been over to help sometimes since he just sucks at it. The house is always a mess. The kids are usually late to school. He asked me to drive them after the school talked to him. He doesn't cook it, just sad. He got in a huge argument with his wife since dinner wasn't done and she had to make it. He was ranting about how it's unfair and that he is trying. I told him it's pathetic he can't do the basic of what his wife did. He has 8 hours free and he can't keep the house clean. I told him she will divorce him if he doesn't stop being lazy and figure it out. He left after calling me a jerk, and my mom is now on me for what I said. Thank you for the mac and cheese recipes. Story 3. AITA for telling my son he can't stay with me when I found out why his wife kicked him out. My daughter-in-law is pregnant with my 1st grandchild. She is suffering from placenta previa. She is on bed rest. It would be dangerous for her to have sex. So my asshole son decided that he should cheat. She found out and kicked him out of the house. He came to stay with us because she was having crazy pregnancy hormones. Every time he called her, they would fight. After a couple of days, we told him to go see if she calmed down. Her mom is staying with them, so we weren't worried about her. My wife called her to check in on her and found out the truth. I very upset. When he got home from work, I told him he needed to get out of my house. He wasn't someone I wanted to associate with at the moment, and it would be best if he wasn't near me. My wife tried to say that I was being too hard on him, that I should just give them a chance to work things out. I can't even look at him. I don't want such a stupid boy in my house. My wife and I are still fighting about it, but I am willing to die on this hill. Story 4, AITA for ordering a giant steak against my MIL Will, actually eating it and refusing to cover the entire bill? I, F27, have been together with my husband Nate for over 10 years and married for 4. I don't have the best relationship with my Mile, as she always seemed to police what I eat. Everyone in my family have fast metabolism. I am also working with horses, so due to this burn a lot of calories, talking about 2.53K a day, and usually have rather large meals to get the energy back, and I still remain skinny. Now, to the event. My in-laws invited me and Nate for dinner last Friday. I was very busy back then and haven't eaten since about 6-7 m, and also didn't have a chance to have a snack before heading to the restaurant, so I was starving. I usually have something to eat before seeing my Emil to avoid her comments. Due to this, I have ordered a large steak at the restaurant, which was meant for 2 people. It also came with prawns, bacon, and 2 sides. Please note it was not the most expensive item on the menu, as some of my in-laws had significantly pricier dishes, and we were all splitting the bill anyway. My Mill started making comments how I shouldn't be ordering what I can't eat, since even her husband wouldn't be able to finish the dish, let alone someone my size. I smiled and said, I haven't eaten since early morning and am starving. If I don't finish the steak, I will take the leftovers home. I have easily finished the steak and was waiting for my dessert when my MIL flipped. She said, I am attention-seeking and was putting on a show. She also said, I have made my FIL and BIL feel uneasy and that a woman shouldn't eat that much. It is unhealthy and something is wrong with me. She has then demanded me and Nate to cover the entire bill as she wasn't planning on such a big expenditure. I said we are absolutely not covering the entire bill since it was meant to be split equally and reminded her of the dishes she ordered that were significantly more expensive compared to my steak, including her starter. As a result, I was called an asshole who has ruined a family dinner. Nate is on my side, but most of my in-laws are making very passive-aggressive posts on social media about it and keep sending me different articles of what might cause excessive eating. Story 5. AITA for demanding respect from my DIL, and if she can't, then get the fuck out. I'm a young MIL. I'm only 39. Had my kids pretty young, and I am very lucky that my husband makes a lot of money, so I don't have to work. I was a SHM for a long time, and once they started to spread their wings instead of going to work, my husband and I decided I would be a homemaker and be active in the community. That's what I have been up to, and I try to make the community a better place. Now, my oldest son, 22, married, and I was really excited until I met her. In general, she is a very business-focused person that is very blunt. I actively dislike her, but I try to be polite for my son's sake. A few examples of why I don't like her. Her wedding gift I handed over, saying it was from me and my husband. She responded back with just your husband, since I know it wasn't your money that paid for it. Saying I am volunteering well, that's not a real job since it doesn't make money. It's passive-aggressive. And yes, I have talked to my son about it, and even once is with her to try to clear the air. We had a get-together last night, and I made a homemade meal. When I was playing everything, she came up and made the comment, no wonder I could make a home-cooked meal. I don't do anything else with my day. I lost it and told her that she needs to respect me or gee the fuck out of my house. She was shocked, and then started to cry when I did kick her out. My son is pissed, and we had a huge argument, and he called me a huge asshole. I need an outside opinion.